What if I fail? What if I succeed? What if it's not good enough? What if I'm not good enough? What am I even doing? If any of that sounds familiar, this one's for you. As a creator, you will have seasons of doubt. That's not a sign to stop. It's a sign to start anyway, because anything worth doing involves some level of risk, of blind faith. Do it scared. Do it unsure. Do it without knowing exactly what you're doing or what the next step is. Do it because it's calling you. You've been thinking about it for a long time. Maybe you've been planning, researching, daydreaming. That's not an accident. That's your calling. And I think it's time to answer. You aren't lazy. You don't lack discipline. You may be stuck because you don't have momentum yet. So, how do you build momentum? You start. You start messy. You start scared. You start ugly. You start where you are with what you have. And then you refine along the way. I started this podcast before I had a studio, before I had good equipment, before I had a clue of what I was doing. I started 2 other times before this, and I failed because I stopped. The universe handed me free equipment, not once, but twice. And the second time, I took it as a sign. This time, I ran with it because I finally found my why. I started this podcast to share my healing journey and because it brought me joy. I detached from the outcome and just went for it. My first few episodes, honestly, kind of shitty. I was rambling. I didn't know how to edit. I had to look up a tutorial for everything. But I showed up anyway, and I'm still showing up. And now I'm re recording with better equipment and more clarity. My purpose now is bigger. It's to help you heal yourself the way that I did. I still want to be raw and real as I was at the start, but I also want to be refined. And it's still a work in progress. I still have a lot more that I want to improve, and I will. You can always improve, you can always edit, but you can't shape something that doesn't exist. You need the raw material first. Find beauty in the raw. Find value in your voice. Fuck perfectionism and fuck imposter syndrome. People told me self help was oversaturated. They asked, what makes your content so different? Me or you. Your voice is what makes it different. Your story is unique and deserves to be heard. You being fully and unapologetically you is enough. Everything is oversaturated. There is Literally nothing new under the sun. But what is new is your perspective, your angle, your voice, your way of breaking it down so it hits the right soul at the right time. If all of this was so obvious, people wouldn't be so lost. There wouldn't be a massive self help industry. There wouldn't be millions of people mindlessly scrolling for something that makes them feel again. Clearly, something is missing. And that's where we come in, the healers, the creators, the ones raising the frequency. We're not here just to consume, we're here to create, to help people see the light within themselves. One day, I woke up and I said to myself, if this is really my purpose, then I need to start acting like it. Since then, I've been waking up at 4 a.m., practically jumping out of bed. I have this discipline I never had before. Why? Because I know who I am. I know what I'm here to create, and I'm moving like it's already mine because it is. And whatever it is that you want is yours too. Because whatever you want wants you as well. And one of my favorite quotes lately has been, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. So I think it's time to step into the identity of the person that you know deep down that you are, who deserves all of those amazing things that you want out of life. This is my full time job, even before it completely replaces my income. I am a creator. It's not just what I do, it's who I am. I decided, I committed. That's it. There's no turning back. And I want you to have that same energy. I want you to step into that identity. You may have many roles in life, many hats to wear, many things to juggle, but who you are deep down is a creator. We are all creators. The question is, what are you here to create? Your thing doesn't have to be art, doesn't have to be content, it doesn't even have to be public. But if you're not building something, anything, or working towards something, you are probably living in someone else's story or building something for someone else, following someone else's schedule, running on someone else's blueprint. I've been there. It sucks. But here's how to make it better. Start building your own life, creating your own rhythm, your own routines. Even if it's small, even if it's awkward, own it, claim it. It's yours. If you don't have a routine, then that is your routine. A routine based on other people's expectations and demands of you. A routine where instead of creating the life you want, you are reacting to what everybody else wants from you. Ask yourself, do you want to spend your day answering everyone else's calls, or are you ready to answer your own calling? And you may never feel fully ready, but you are ready enough to take a small step. Start exactly where you are, do just what you can, and use just what you have, because I promise you it is more than enough. And yes, the first version will be shitty. It's kind of supposed to be. That's the point. Keep going anyway, and you can refine along the way. If you are procrastinating, you might just be lacking one of these things: vision, direction, skill, or the audacity to do it. And here's the truth: the clarity comes from doing. The vision, the direction, the skill, even the audacity is built along the way. So start right now. Take the smallest step that you can to move the needle, even if it's ugly, especially if it's ugly. That's the only way. You don't have to have it all figured out. You'll learn more from the doing than the overthinking. Sometimes you have to build the plane while you're flying it and then course correct along the way. I'm not saying to be reckless. I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow. But what I am saying is this: start, take it serious, treat it like it's already yours, because it is, because it matters, because you matter. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to show up for yourself, for this moment, for this message. Whether you're listening in your car, on a walk, or curled up in bed, I don't take your time or energy for granted, and neither should you. You being here means the world to me, and I hope you leave this episode a little more empowered to create. Even if it's ugly, even if it's uncertain, even if it's just one small step. And remember, you have my permission to be a little self-centered today. Until next time, be centered, be authentic, and be well.